It sounds too wacky to be true, but it's a reality. An apartment that had been locked away for over 70 years was finally reopened, revealing a glimpse of an unimaginable treasure. You won't believe the mind-blowing secret the long-abandoned home was really hiding. Are you ready to dive into a living time capsule with us and get to the bottom of this stunning discovery? The year is 1942, when Solange Beaugeron leaves Paris to flee the Wehrmacht troops. 3 years earlier, the then 23-year-old had inherited her late grandmother Marthe de Florian's apartment, but she settled in the south of France after World War II and never returned to the apartment. As the years dragged on, the apartment in the 9th arrondissement near the red light district of Pigalle and the Opéra-Garnier eventually fell completely into oblivion. The amazing thing, although Solange never lived in the apartment herself, she continued to pay rent and the utilities for the next 70 years. But when the Frenchwoman closed her eyes forever in 2010 at the age of 91, none of her relatives knew about the apartment from the past. This fact only came to light when the remaining family members sifted through the estate of the deceased. Completely surprised by the existence of the apartment, the family hired the auctioneer Olivier Chopin-Janvray to visit the apartment and inventory its contents. But when the unsuspecting experts opened the apartment door, they could not believe their eyes. A walk-in time capsule had just unfolded before them. Everything was still exactly as Marthe had left it 7 decades ago. But that wasn't all. The thick flakes of dust covered not only ordinary everyday objects for days long gone, but also some exciting treasures of unimaginable value. The team felt as if they were walking a vivid trip back in time to the height of the Belle Époque, when Paris was celebrating its cultural renaissance. Books and newspapers lined the shelves, golden curtains covered the windows, and hairbrushes, perfumes, and candle stubs lay on a luxurious dressing table, just waiting for their glamorous owner to return. As mentioned earlier, the late owner originally inherited the apartment from her grandmother. Born in 1864, Marthe de Florian was what we would today call a member of high society, a true femme fatale who was known for her dissolute lifestyle, her parties, and her countless notable suitors. However, her life was by no means so dazzling from the start. Actually, Marthe de Florian's name was not Marthe de Florian at all, but Mathilde Aloise Beaugeron. Before the days of lavish parties, she worked as a simple seamstress and gave birth to 2 children. Only later did she change her name and turn to acting to enter the lucrative world of the crème de la crème. The treasure. Damask on the walls, painted Louis XVI-style furniture, and oriental carpets. Even a quick glance at the apartment's furnishings is enough to realize that Marthe de Florian's hoped-for rise in society was crowned with extraordinary success. The stuffed bouquet enthroned amid chandeliers, floral wallpaper patterns, and an old Mickey Mouse doll shows that Marthe also possessed a certain penchant for extravagance. As can be seen in the photographs, the Frenchwoman also seemed to be very interested in art, though she didn't collect just any paintings. The one that surprised the team the most was a completely unknown work by the famous 19th century Italian artist Giovanni Boldini. In the portrait, we see a young woman wearing a pink satin dress and sitting on a sofa. The exciting thing, the lady is none other than Marthe de Florian herself. However, Boldini's painting bore no signature and was not listed in any reference works. However, the art experts managed to find a mention of the painting in the memoirs of the famous painter's widow. Thus, the portrait could finally be dated to the year 1898, an assessment that also coincided with the numerous love affairs found in Marthe's apartment. However, Boldini was by no means the only one who professed his undying love for the Frenchwoman. Among her other admirers were the 2-time French Prime Minister Georges Clemenceau. After the background of the painting had been clarified beyond doubt, it was finally offered for sale at an auction. However, the proud starting price of 300,000 euros was quickly forgotten. After 10 people have fought over the unique work of art, it went to the highest bidder for €3 million. No other painting by Giovanni Boldini had ever achieved such a high sales price. While the descendants of Marthe de Florian were able to enjoy an unexpected windfall, the exact location of the time capsule apartment remains a mystery. But who knows, perhaps a dusty apartment in the 9th arrondissement is still slumbering at this very moment, boasting everything the Belle Epoque had to offer. Well, with the exception of a beautiful Boldini painting, of course. Mayan artifacts. Folks better look twice before you throw something in the trash. When Nick DeMola's waste management company was hired to clear out an apartment in New York, the worthless junk included a peculiar garbage can. However, this one didn't contain any smelly trash, but a set of 2,000-year-old Mayan artifacts. At this point, however, Nick had no idea that he had just stumbled upon clay statues from pre-Columbian Mexico. Nevertheless, he proved to have the right instinct when he didn't throw the barrel away, but took it to a warehouse instead. A short time later, he took some of the pieces to an appraiser and art dealer, Howard Knowes. The latter confirmed that the pieces were indeed from the ranks of the legendary Maya. And already, the few figures that Nick took to the appraisal possessed an estimated value of $3,000. Afterwards, the finder handed over all the artifacts to a museum, but the sum that changed hands in the process is unknown. Super Mario. Gamers know gaming is a damn expensive hobby. Not counting the necessary hardware, a new game costs a good €80 these days. The retro fans surely have it easier. The outdated modules are surely offered on the online bargain tables for Nenapalundanali. Well, that may be true in principle, but not if the object of desire is an original packaged copy of Super Mario Bros. From 1985. Unbelievable but true, the owner had bought the game as a Christmas present in the 80s and then forgot it in his desk drawer for decades. Since this version also used limited edition packaging, the collector's delight was all the greater. In the end, the game changed hands for $660,000 in 2021. Compared to the sum another copy fetched in August of the same year, however, this was chump change. The original shrink-wrapped edition sold for as much as $2 million. Charlotte Bronte ring. Anyone interested in classic literature has almost certainly come across the name Charlotte Bronte. While the British woman published her novels in the mid-19th century, she used the pseudonym Currer Bell to do so. Then, in 2019, Bronte would hit the headlines once again. Not because of a rediscovered manuscript, though, but because of a very special gem. When a woman in Great Britain entered the attic of her deceased father-in-law, a locked metal box caught her eye. A short time later, she found the key to the box, but the contents left her rather disillusioned. In detail, there was only one ring inside. However, she noticed the finger jewelry bore an inscription. Under the magnifying glass, this turned out to be the name Bronte, supplemented by a date, March 1855. Internet research then revealed the name and date clearly referred to the well-known writer. She had died on March 31st, 1855. But that was not all. The ring also had a small hinge, and when the woman opened it, a secret compartment revealed a braided strand of hair. Who now adds up 1 and 1? Who knows whose head the strand of hair once adorned? What seems rather unusual today was commonplace 150 years ago. People braided hair into objects such as rings, bracelets, necklaces, and watches to commemorate a certain person. While the ring in and of itself had a value of just $32, the sum rose to a whopping $26,000 when combined with the famous author. Escobar's treasure. You want my treasure? You can have it. Go look for it. Somewhere I have hidden a plastic bag with $18 million. This or something similar could have been a quote from Pablo Escobar if he had known one piece. Although the Colombian drug lord had been dead since 1993, his notorious legacy lives on to this day. In fact, the head of the Medellin cartel was once among the richest men in the world. He is believed to have amassed more than $3 billion. At the height of his power, Escobar is said to have earned as much as $420 million a week. Escobar's nephew Nicolas was able to see for himself a few years ago that there is still a pretty penny left of his dubious wealth. He told the Colombian press that he had discovered a plastic bag mentioned at the beginning in a wall of one of his uncle's houses. However, this find was not a lucky coincidence of fate, but, according to Nicolas, the result of a vision that he had revealed to him how to get the walled-up money. Furthermore, the secret hiding place also contained a number of satellite phones, a typewriter, a camera, and a pen made out of pure gold. However, whether this was the whole treasure is more than questionable. In Medellin, rumors have long persisted that many Escobar millions are still slumbering in various places in the metropolis. Support us with a thumbs up and a subscription, and never miss a new video again.